we,
Thank you. Okay.
yes, of course. And then we're also going to look at Time Blazer right now. Let's look to see, but we're also going to do a little bit of Universal Gateway. And this is just kind of throwing a chart, if you will, just to see the outcome of the meeting. So, all right. So first things first, now I want you to be looking at your Time Blazer as well. I'm going to share this Time Blazer, but it's not yours because I can't keep every client's Time Blazer. So we're on this day. First of all, do you have a do not meet sign on your day like I do?
Hold on 1 second. I have to log in. Sorry, logging in.
Take your time. And your appointment is at 2 p.m.? Too bad he wouldn't go for 3 though. Yeah.
Yeah, I got as close as I could.
Yeah. Yeah. How long do you think the meeting is going to be though?
Oh, I think it's easily going to be an hour.
Okay, good. Don't make any decisions until you hit the 3 o'clock hour. Number
Oh,
one.
absolutely. Yeah, no, this is a fact-finding mission today.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'm on initiate. I open up the day. I'm sorry, the 23rd. Okay, I'm on the 23rd.
All right. So what icons do you, oh, as a matter of fact, right now, just share me your screen. Let's just look off of yours instead of trying to convert. One of the other things we're going to have to share my screen, but.
Yeah, so you have to give me permission to do
Oh,
that.
oh. There you go. You have it. You should have it now.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Awesome. It's a 3-star day for you. Good. All right. So by doing what we're doing, it's going to help teach you a little bit how to use the system.
Okay.
I actually have a class. It's not going to be till October on how to really efficiently use this software a lot better. But for right now, you got me.
Okay.
So it's an initiate day. So initiating this conversation and all of that. That's great. And it is a rat day, but you do have a horse in your chart. So it does clash your chart, but you're trying, I don't see that as a problem in the respect you are also trying to accomplish getting rid of things that you think are not fair, as in just everything that you said before. So I am okay with it being a clash to your horse. So the day itself and the positive influences, we have relief. So relief means that you're going to get some pressure taken off. This happens throughout the day, irregardless of what's happening in the hours. This is the prevailing energy of the entire 24 hours. On the negative influences, you do have big spender. Now, how that works is you'll probably be spending more money than you had wished to, but it also works in the respect they may end up spending more money than they wish to, as in giving you what you want. So let's hope that it works out on that level. Now, when you have a green day, overall, those positive influences uptick and the negative influences begin to neutralize a bit. They're not as potent. But when you start hitting like the 1 to 3 o'clock hour and you've got those 2 red counterproductive and entanglement, for example, that can create more of this coming out. But like I said, when you start really asking for money, say what you need to say and then listen, and then at 3 o'clock start asking like succinctly for things that you're looking for, if you will. Now, burnout, like you can easily burn out today. Futility, like we're running around in circles. Instability, there's still not real ways of like okay, this is really settled here. Travel block could be anything from traveling, like you get held up in traffic, to a fender bender, to that kind of thing. But this also works internet wise, in the respect your message could be interrupted by your computer crashing, or power outages, that kind of thing. Unforeseen obstacles, kind of the same deal. Unsuccessful wilderness is the biggest thing I want you to watch out for on this day.
Okay.
And that is getting down rabbit holes. So I'm really happy that you have rehearsed your talking points so you can be very succinct about it and not rambling, because that's when people are just like, okay, she doesn't know what she's talking about, or, we can, put the wool over her eyes or something like that. So that's the biggest thing that I want you, and watch out for them too. It's like, well, can we redirect it back to,
Okay.
that kind of thing if you need to.
Right.
Uh, okay, so, but then we go into, let's look at the goat hour. You do have mentors. Now, mentors means that, you are the mentor or the mentee, working with a coach of some sort. Doesn't really apply to your meeting today, but it is, the goat hour in affirmation to you having to accept this hour. So what, and again, these are things you don't really know because the time blazer is going to tell you that. But the horse and goat are combination animals. So really, that goat hour is not bad as you think it is because of those two red in there. The goat hour actually helps that horse become more potent, if you will. So then going into the monkey hour, that's where we have cash infusion and green light. And you have a 1 star there. Therefore, your outcome could be favorable. Now, you can you go back to the top of the screen?
Mhm.
Okay, so no icons, no activators, and then go back to the month view. I just want to make sure that there's on the 23rd, and then go down to the 23rd. Yeah, you don't have any manifest force. Okay, but that's okay. This Adobe thing keeps popping up. Okay, now I'm going to go over to another chart. I'm going to grab back the I'm going to grab back. Where's the screen? All right, share screen. All right. Your meeting is at 2 o'clock, so I think we should run a chart for 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So, and just so you know, did I show you this platform at all?
No.
Ever?
No.
So this is my my programmer, my backend programmer. This is what a day in the Time Blazer world looks like. And this is my programmer. Let me show you a day in the life of, this is the exact same day.
Okay.
But it's so not user friendly unless you are a practitioner. And it was like, there's no way we could ever use this, right? So we've got to move on to something a little bit different here. So, all right, so let's go to, I call it Universal Gateway. It's called Chimendunja. And we are going to go to the 2 o'clock hour. Let's run that chart. Okay. Give me a moment to interpret it. You are the asker, so that is Yang Earth, and the outcome is okay. They are in two different. What do we have? Any clash force? Okay, well that's good. We don't have. Okay, so you are the asker, and that is located in the northwest sector of this chart, if you will. But the answer is way over here. Okay, so this, you can kind of tell, like, this is a lot of water in a palace that really doesn't like water so much, but it actually strengthens water, so it's okay. It's okay. But it's the southeast. So let's see what the southeast. Okay, so we don't have much information here. It's moderate. Stay calm. there still may be some uncertainty before the end of what this chart is telling me. Nothing is getting decided today.
No, I didn't think so. I don't
Nothing
think.
is getting decided today because when these are, I don't know if you can see on your screen, this is a light gray, this is
Yeah.
a darker gray. When
Yeah.
they're in two different palaces is what they're called, it's not a quick outcome. And remind me again, when is your deadline to renew and do all, it's the 31st of August, right?
Yeah, that's when the lease expires. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's what you can do though, is there is what's called a scenery door here, which things need to look very beautiful. So you yourself are beautiful, so that also helps. But truthfully, I mean, these are tasks, these are strategies from way back when. And one of the strategies, when you think about, have you ever read The Art of War?
No, but you're like the second person in 24 hours. I feel like now I need to get it on my Audible.
You do have to get it. You do
Okay.
have to get it. It's a marvelous book. It's really great for business strategies. It's been exceptionally well used for centuries, including today's strategic battles. So it's used a lot in the military. It was a military manual, if you will. It's winning the war without fighting the battle, right? Which I wish a few of our world leaders would be reading this book right now. But they're not. Anyway, one of the strategies is, and you know this from any history that you have, seen over time, is they send in the pretty woman to distract the commander, if you will. So that's really what the scenery door is asking you to do, is really, you're coming in professional, but you're also, easy on the eye for these guys, right? So so that is something that is working on your side. The other thing that's working on your side is this is about real estate, and the snake is about real estate, not snake from the respect of astrology, because this is a very different reading. This is just taking a snapshot in time and letting you know what is happening during this meeting time. So, so you have actually quite a bit of power here. Your back is what is what is back to what right now?
Oh, my back, what's my back facing? Oh gosh, I have to double check. I don't remember.
Or what are you facing? Do you know what area you're facing right now?
I'm facing, I think that's west. That's west,
Looks
so,
like you're facing south.
yeah. Honey, are we facing south here? I have to find my compass. Can you pull out your compass, please? Yeah, okay. I think we are. I think this is the west. Sorry, this is west, right?
Yeah.
That's where the sun sets.
think
Yeah,
so, yeah.
that's west, that's east.
Mhm.
He's checking real quick.
Okay.
And I'm facing
No.
north.
You're facing north.
Almost the same as the store.
Almost
actually.
the same as the store, 340.
Yeah, three.
Okay, for this meeting,
Mhm.
I don't actually want you facing the north
Okay,
because we've got some really crappy structures and stuff going on in this. And this is maybe one of the worst negotiating against you, like not for you. It would be actually good if you could face the south, so you'd be turning a 360, but that may not work for you if you turn your computer one way or the other.
but I could go somewhere else in the house and here's a
the-
laptop. So
well, that would be good, because the south, if you were able to face the south, And the reason why I like the south is because one, this door is very strong. So
Okay.
death door means the end of something. So we have to look at that as well. But it could be the end of this negotiation, as in, you know, you're like, okay, I'm happy with it. It's not like destruction, but it's like it just completes something. Death door also means real estate. Death and there's three things that mean real estate: the death door, the snake, and then the answer or the asker, which is this woo or the yang earth, which is in the asker box. This may
Right.
sound, you know, anyway. So we've got what we want to do is I would say get more with your back to the south. And right before the meeting, I would get into a bit of a meditation of asking the universe for what you want. Be realistic within the realm of possibility. Of course, we want, like, you know, pay the lowest rent or whatever, but what is realistic? And set that intention for the universe to get this in process.
Okay, so my back is to the south direction? Okay.
Correct. This is very good for assuming a new job, negotiations, closing business deals, operating a new business, major important activities, pacifying somebody angry. They're probably not real happy about having to renegotiate, right? Collecting necessary data, information and knowledge to fill plans and strategies, helps make very good and fruitful connections with important people, key person, because we want them on your side, right?
Yeah.
You know, you want them to like, of course I want to stay here. But let's face it, right now we are in a bit of economic turmoil right now. And 3 years is all I can commit to. But I'm retiring from my business to do this business. And I need this 3-year runway to help me get over that hump. And then when things turn around, then we can renegotiate again or something like that.
And just to clarify, because right now my back is to south.
Oh, your back is to the south. Yeah, stay there then.
Okay, so stay here. Okay.
All right. So here's the strategy with Universal Gateway. Okay, if the enemy is strong, but is allied to the commander only by money or threats, then take aim at the leader. If the commander falls, the rest of the army will disperse or come over to your side. If, however, if you are aligned to the leader through loyalty, then beware. The army could continue to fight. Okay, so you're speaking to the broker who you are with as far as your negotiation, right?
Yeah.
But the owner of the building, is he going to be in this meeting as well?
No, but they all work for the same company. So the landlord, the property manager, and the broker all work for the Cronke Group out of Missouri.
Okay. So here's where the pretty woman comes in. You're going to have to kind of play the pretty woman. I'm not talking dumb. You're showing up just as you are. And because really basically what this is saying, if the broker, well, your landlord actually is the commander in this case, right? And the army is the broker. He's the one that's brokering the deal. He's not, he's more the frontline person. He's getting information from you, relaying information about the owner, right? So how strong is the landlord, which sounds pretty strong because he's got a strong army because they're all in the same group. So what you need to do is if the army is strong but allied to the commander, which he is, then take aim at the leader, which is your landlord. So within the broker meeting today, you don't want to exactly take jabs, but really look at it from the perspective of, you know, this is a win-win situation. If I leave, 8,000 square feet is going to be empty. It's not going to be it, or do you know, would that be an easy building to re-rent?
I don't know. There's not a lot, we're a small town. They probably have to chunk it up into several different leases, honestly.
Exactly. Exactly. This is a win-win situation. So come in with those talking points
Okay.
that, you know, this is a win-win situation to the landlord. If I leave, it may cost him more money to chunk it up just so he can rent out partial or right away. Now, if this guy comes back and says, well, we've got a renter, you know, like they may throw that at you. I don't know. I don't. And I don't know your market well enough to say whether or not, you know, that would be a true statement or not. But anyway, but definitely things are going to happen quick though today with this little horse there that means sky horse, but basically it means that something quick is, you know, and truthfully, August 31st is not that far away.
No.
So something does need to be decided that may not be decided today, but it may need to. Now, can you go to a month by month if you want to, or you have to get locked into this long-term lease?
Yeah, I think there was a provision in there about month to month, but I'd have to see what that looks like because they have a lot of power in this lease, which is what's scary to me, honestly, is like, for example, if one of their employees set fire to my place, I have to use my insurance, like their insurance that like I have no recourse, no legal recourse, no insurance recourse. And that's one of my questions to them. I'm going to be like, kind of like, haha. So if one of your, people working on the property accidentally sets it on fire, you're basically saying that is my responsibility to fix everything. And I just want to know if am I interpreting this correctly? Because certainly that's what it says, you know.
And that's a really good way to put it. Am I interpreting this correctly? And then say what you're going to say, or either way, but just adding that on throws it back to them. That's very good. So, okay. Do you have any other questions about the meeting, or do you want to look at some feng shui?
No, I'm good with the meeting. Back to south so I can stay right here.
Yes.
Where I've got my little
Yes.
setup.
And literally take a few minutes to get clear. I don't know how you do your clearing as far as, you know, setting yourself up for, you know, an important meeting like this, but you know, just taking, you know, whether you listen to some sort of meditation or something, but just, you know, really try to come in not feeling so pressured about it all.
Okay, great.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, let us go. I gotta stop share and then share screen. And then I'll send you over this in that. Oh, I hate when they change these things. But they do. Seems like everybody's doing it. Doing updates and stuff.
I
Okay.
know.
All right, let me get our faces out of there for a second. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is this annual dial that I've superimposed over your floor plans.
Okay.
So every year, this new dial is what's going to come into play, if you will. So let's talk about this and then we'll look at your floor plans. Remind me how much time we have on how quickly I'm going to be talking to you.
You booked 2 hours.
Okay. Okay. All right. So the first thing that you want to know about the annual dial is it's 1 year. You don't necessarily want to buy or lease a property with the annual information. You want to definitely do renovations though, if you're going to do any property improvements, and follow this to as much as you can, because this can alleviate some problems along the way.
Okay.
All right, every year we have 4 green areas, which are the good areas, and then there are always 2 areas that are challenging. I'll explain those in just a little bit. And then sometimes it's like the green and the red kind of have to mix together. It's, you know, a system that's been around for thousands of years. So, you know, we know that it does work, but we do have to take caution on some things when it comes to renovation. All of the dial you can use, but there are going to be areas that are, some are going to be more vibrant. So if we can get into that vibrant flow, the better off you'll be. You know, actually, let me get something. I am going to do this because I think this will be important for you to understand as well. Because when you connect to the Feng Shui dial, and this is the correct information, right? July 1st, 69 at 5:32 a.m., right? Your birthday is correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Oh.
Okay. So what we can see on this dial already is that you have an ox in your chart, and the Feng Shui ox direction in 2024 is for money. So we want to make sure what's in that area and what can you do to use that area as much as possible, because that's where the money is for everyone. But why it's good for you, it's in your chart. So it helps boost your chart in addition to the annual Feng Shui. So I don't have an ox in my chart, for example. So yeah, it's still good for fortune, but I can't captivate it like you can because you have that in your chart.
Okay.
Okay. And that is the one that you have most access to in 2024. Now there's other considerations as well. Don't think that that's the only one, but that one for sure, we know we want to make sure in your floor plan, what is there and how can we bring money in for you.
Okay.
So, all right, well, let's just start down here since we're talking about the ox. So the ox is about money, and we're going to see where it shows up on your floor plan. In the southwest one, which is the dragon, which is an important animal to you because the dragon and the rooster are, you're going to get a little mini read with this as well. The dragon and the rooster are best friends. So the rooster this year isn't very, very potent, but the rooster is very important to you for two reasons. One, because you have a rooster in your chart, and then one of your helpful people is the rooster, and then also the pig is the rooster, is a helpful person. So actually the dragon virtue is good for you as well. But it has, from a Feng Shui perspective and flying star perspective annually, we have the West a bit challenged this year with the 5 yellow. Again, no problem if you don't renovate. If you renovate in that area or, you know, disturb that area too much by moving things around, you're always moving things around, right? Because you've got, well, this may be where we want to put in a cure. So have you gotten your order, by the way?
I got everything. Yeah,
Awesome.
everything's at the store ready to be placed.
Perfect. Okay. So so we're gonna definitely want to put a cure in the West. And so that will help alleviate some of those issues. We'll go back to the cures in just a second.
Okay.
Just explaining the dial right now so you can kind of understand it. All right, so going back to the dragon, it's what's called the Grand Duke. It's always the year of, so it's the year of the dragon. So the dragon is the Grand Duke. What is opposite the Grand Duke is the dog. You don't have a dog in your chart, so you have less to worry about than other people, but you still don't want to get your floor plan cranky because something was, because this is what's called the year breaker, which can be as potent, if not more potent than the Grand Duke.
Okay.
Again, this is renovations. Don't worry about it. We're going to put the cures there, and that's where I'm going to help you with that.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the snake, another very important animal to you because the snake, and next year is the year of the snake. So your ox and your rooster create what's called a 3 harmony. So here's the snake, here's your rooster, and then here's your ox over here. So you actually get 2 of the 3 this year because the snake offers the sun sign in 2024. Next year, just so you know, not the 3 killing part of it, but the sun is now going to go into the horse next year, because this is going to be the Grand Duke. So this dial is going to go click into the next animal, not the next box, but the next animal. Not all of it, but these colored pieces all are going to shift 1 year. So you can really kind of even plan out for the next several years, like, oh, what's going to be coming up in 2020, 6, the Grand Duke is going to be in the horse, and the goat's going to have the sun sign. Again, you'll see the intricacies on whether or not they overlap with some red or the 3 killings or the 5 yellow and all that kind of stuff. But just the basic green and red that's on here, that's all going to shift. All right, so what is the sun for? The sun is very good. The sun being the sun in the sky, is very good for dissolving obstacles. This is where more overt, if you will, helpful people, like, can I help you, Betsy? I mean, it's like that clear. It's like, can I help you? Versus Betsy going, can you help me? So this will, but you may even have to ask, but these are big people. These are people that really can help you. So if you know some people that might be able to help you, whether it be service providers or, you know, there's maybe a big person you want to be in contact with, start asking around to get closer and closer degree to that helpful person. TikTok, we got 6 months left in the year for you to look for that, because then this whole dial changes, and so does the feng shui. So that's really the objective of why we do the annual feng shui. What absolute juice can we get out of our space, which is there to help you achieve your goals? And then what to avoid? Avoid the Grand Duke, avoid sitting, and like even avoid sitting there if you can. I have people tell me all the time, well, my desk is built in and I can't really move it. Yes, you can. This is a computer. You can work on your laptop or your iPad or, you know, whatever. So, but anyway, this dial will be very helpful for you as far as figuring out, even in your home space, like you can slap this over your own home and do the same thing. Because really every space is subjected to good or bad to this dial. Okay, so the snake is about helpful people. I'll go back to the 3 killings in just a second. The goat has the moon. Now, the goat is not something your chart loves. Your rabbit loves it, but your ox and your horse don't love it so much. So it's not really that important to you. But by the way, the dial part of it, where you see the goat and the monkey and the rooster, etc., those never change. It's the information overlaid on the top.
Okay.
Just be clear about that. So the Southwest isn't like super great for you, especially in that goat direction. But in 2024, we have the moon, and the moon is seeing things that nobody else sees. It's, you know, the more reflective, like going deep into, you know, trying to figure out complex information. It's very good for study and research. It is good for making like passive income, which in some respects you do have a second gig. They're both full-time jobs, it sounds like, but you know, you do have, you know, one kind of supporting the other right now.
Yeah, and remind me to mention something else to you too, an opportunity that came up around this.
Go ahead and mention it now before while we're.
I was approached to franchise the clothing store in Flagstaff as a starting point. I had an initial meeting with the woman, and she's very, I just wanted to chat with her, and she's very knowledgeable about, fashion trends, what would work there versus here. Wants to retire from an engineering job. She was very smart, very savvy, very stylish. We're going to talk again. I'm having a meeting with my CPA next week, and he sent the email and he said, this could be a really interesting opportunity. Let's talk about the options. And then I have like a client who's also like a good business coach, right? He knows everybody. And I said, do you have anyone in your network who deals with franchising? And he said, I'll think about it, but what I can tell you is you could look at licensing, you could look at this, you could look, like, he was kind of giving me the overall broad strokes.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea of creating a model that's scalable, because maybe I could do one in Flag, I could do one in Prescott, I could do one in Camp Verde. You know what I mean? We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that came up.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. And I switched over to the Universal Gateway, and the screen's a little screwy, so just bear with me.
For sure.
So now what I was just like, well, what would be the outcome of you doing that? I just asked that question. I use the same chart because it's a 1 to 3 o'clock chart. So I use the same chart, but the biggest difference is I don't use this as an indicator anymore. What I look at is your year pillar, the top element, which is yin earth. So I go to this, it's G earth. It's very good.
Wow. For the franchising opportunity. Okay, great. Well, as that continues to flesh out, that's something I would be consulting with you as part of this plan, right? Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. I wouldn't sign anything without it being on a good day. I wouldn't, like use the time blazer like this, these are perfect and using these types of strategies just to look in. Is it even a good idea? If it's not a good idea, like, okay, next, right?
Right.
But again, look at beauty.
Mhm.
And the hero too is visibility. And what are you good at? Marketing.
Mhm.
Right? The snake is finding the good property because, that's another thing the snake is very good for. It's very good for finding properties. So finding the right properties in, which looks like could definitely happen. Finding the right properties is going to be, but it could happen very quickly.
That's wonderful to hear. Can I ask you another business question? Because it's all tied together with the furniture side. So on the furniture side, I have a friend who's an interior designer who was talking about maybe subletting an office there, and she wants to launch her own home decor line. And, obviously she can shop right from the stuff people bring in for her clients. I said to her yesterday, well, why don't you think about buying it? Because my passion's really the clothing side. You know what I mean? And I want to carve out some of that piece of that furniture side and make the clothing side bigger. Do you think there's possibilities there? Is the chart showing that that is also a potential opportunity, or should I be looking at other either people or just not even at that option, I guess is.
All right. So for partnerships, because it would be kind of a partnership, if you will, whether she buys it or not, you still are in contact with her as far as your sublease or purchasing, however it's going to go, right? She still has to use that space if you're going to sign a lease with them.
Right.
So now I look at the Harmony door because this is partnerships, right? So it doesn't look good. This one doesn't look good. It looks like a great idea. This is the sun. It's a great idea. Then we have destructor, we have harm, we have a negative, see where this is red, that's positive when it's on this side. And if it's on this side, it's bad. It's really, there's so many different formations. So it's either really good or really bad. Sometimes it's both, but sometimes you'll see red and black on either, and they don't all show up every single day or whatever. But we also have what's called a void, or death and emptiness, if you will. So there's struggles all along the way.
Okay.
Then we have this yang metal, which is the worst element to have, if you will. That is not, yeah, this one, and this is even looking at the reading of it, it's like not suitable for tackling serious problems and obstacles. This is one big headache.
Okay. Now,
Now,
oh,
go ahead.
is it a headache because of the specific person I'm talking about, or is it a headache in general? Subleasing is not a good idea, or selling is not a good idea, I guess is my question.
I can't answer that based on this chart. I could douse for it, but I can't answer it based on this chart. Really, what I need is her birth information. Any partner you work with, or something like this, I would ask for their birth date. I wouldn't worry so much about their time of birth because that can get wiggy for people. But somehow, do you ask for people's birth dates like when they're shopping and stuff like that?
No.
Yeah, and I don't know how well do you know this person?
Friendly acquaintance, friendly,
Yeah. Like you can look on Facebook, but even that isn't true like I don't put my real birth date on Facebook anymore. So, you can't even go by that. But if you had heard at least day, month, and year of birth, we can do a lot of things on how compatible she is for you to have her in the store or whatever. But here's what I would propose to you with her is why don't we set this up as a trial? Is there any place that you could place her within the store that she could have like a satellite office and sublease that to her for, a month or, a 3-month trial period or through the end of the year, and let's see how it goes. Because
Right.
I'm making some bigger business decisions right now as well. And that could potentially be, but the chart likes franchising. The chart does not like this idea. Maybe because it's splintering off. Let me ask you this. The lady that wants to franchise the franchise model with you, is she talking about all of the business or just the clothing?
Just the clothing.
Well, then that's different because that does like help alleviate some of that. The only thing, well, we'll talk about from a feng shui perspective. I almost would like you to use the other side of the building then, because it's more complete. You have so much missing on the Kelsey's side. Yeah. All right. So let me just finish up this dial real quick. Where are we at? Dragon Virtue helps relieve obstacles. And since this is always in your chart, this is only for this year. But you do have a pig as far as your helpful people mentors as well. So the pig is actually very good for you, as well as the rooster for the helpful people. So we definitely want to be using that area as well. This is exactly where it would be very helpful for you, is the Northwest 3, not all of the Northwest, just this one little pie shell, is spending a little bit of time there figuring things out.
Okay.
Because this is an area where you've got some hurdles along with these opportunities that are coming your way.
Yeah.
So which ones are real hurdles? Like I was working with somebody the other day and they were like, I've got blah, 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 blah. It was like, yeah, you do. And what is the most urgent right now? Because you can't do blah, blah, blah. You just can't. We only have so much time in a day. Like, what is it that's the most essential thing that's going to move the needle to start getting what you want? Then all the rest can start filling in, but we can't, like, being diverted by this other bright shiny object is not really helping. So we know you've got your lease negotiation. That's number one. If you don't have a lease with this person, then but you know what? may not be the end of the world.
Right.
Maybe you're franchise with this other person, and we'll see how it all plays out, but it's not solely dependent on you. It's also dependent on this broker. It's also dependent on, how well they're going to play with you as far as getting, things in order so that you can turn this into your full-time work once you've let go your marketing clients.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's now, we were, when I was looking at, even though this doesn't have your personal, I just kept this is the floor plan that we're working off of.
Yep.
And now we're going to look at your floor plan. Now, this is the whole thing. Remember, I'm going to divide it. But this is what I've come up with your floor plan. So these directions obviously radiate out through your entire floor plan, but your floor plan, this east for this year, this whole swath right here is where the money's at.
Oh.
So when you are setting up the merchandise either that you want to go quickly and or your most expensive displays, they should go in this area for 2024.
Okay.
So with you merchandising, is that a problem for having your staff go, okay, this is what we're going to do, and this is where we're going to put the, our most expensive and or the things that we want to move out of the store quickly? Because that's where your money's.
Yeah, we can certainly do that. I would just be concerned about some theft because right now the highest end luxury items are behind our jewelry counter that we
And
take.
where's the jewelry counter?
Fortunately, it is like if where you have the 33 and the arrow pointing down, go down, down, down. It's like right in, it's like that in that whole area right in there.
Okay. Well, the tiger doesn't have anything. Let's be creative. What else could we put there to get people to
Well, I could certainly move some racks around for sure.
Yeah.
Or move the dresses.
then,
Yeah.
and then and I'm sure you're already fabulous at this, but you know how IKEA makes you walk a certain way, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you can make your clients walk through this area and then go, oh, and here's now a sort of automatic turn to make people come to this area, at least, because when you use an area, you activate it. And what we like to do, and it's very hard in a very thriving brick and mortar, is we want to avoid and keep quiet these red areas. Well, people are walking through the store all the time, but when we can strategically make people walk in a certain way, and you got this dressing room in the way, yeah, you can come back out, but come back in, but make people do something here where this could also be your quick buys. I mean, if there's anything that I've learned over the years, and I don't know if you work with any digital marketers, like I would be somebody, like I have digital products, right? I don't have a brick and mortar for people to walk through, but those low end ticket items, they add up.
Yeah, true.
It's quick turnover. So
moving my sale rack over there. Exactly. Yeah.
exactly.
So, because we're trying to move summer out, I could move my summer sale rack over there.
Perfect. Perfect.
Should I screen capture this so I have a reference?
Yes, I'm going to send you this presentation so you'll have it, but send it before. But yeah, go ahead and screen capture it so you have it right now, just as your little whatever, because this is your collateral. Okay. So then your other so the pink, by the way, are your missing areas of your floor plan, and this one is a little bit of an extension. So for 2020, always you will have these, but in 2024 we have the dragon, and this is that year breaker. What is located here in this section?
Oh gosh, in the furniture store, that's like it's like this no man's land. It's funny that, it's so funny because
Keep it-
intuitively, I know that back of that room is not working. But there's like random rugs, tables, you know, it's just random.
Well, keep it random for this year. We may have a different strategy next.
Okay.
But for this year, keep it random. Now, what we are looking at here, and you know what? Let me go back to the style because I did not explain the 3 killings. Sorry. The 3 killings always goes across 3 animals every year. And they all do not want you to do renovations.
Okay.
Keep in mind, if you do need to do renovations, I'm not going to talk about moving furniture because you've got that. That's your business model. There's no way we could manage that from a feng shui perspective. But if you decide I'm going to put a door in one of these areas of whatever year that you're looking at, but you've got many doors, so that probably wouldn't be your case. But I don't know, you've decided that you're going to add a wall or the partition or whatever. That does have a feng shui effect. So then we have to think about what we need to do as far as dates of when to do either like the demo or the begin, the construction and all of that. So unless you're doing renovations in any of the areas that are red or this yellow or this 3 killings, don't worry about it. But I do want you to spend time and use these areas, especially this fortune virtue. You've got such a beautiful swath of it. Why not? So anyway, the 3 killings consist of robbery. There's calamity with the horse, and then there's what's called a yearshaw. So again, this one can break up relationships pretty dramatically. So none of them are pretty, but avoiding the renovations, and or if we have to, let's make sure we do it on a good day, and those days are few and far between. So it's not like, oh, find me a date for next week. Give me some lead time if you do need to do that, like, oh, we're going to put something in that area. And then again, remember, we only have 6 months left in this year. Then we will be looking at a different dial for 2025. So my suggestion to you would be like, let's try to like not spend any money because we're still in like, what am I going to be doing with this place? Just use the positive feng shui to its max. And then we'll put the cures in these particular areas that need the most help of pacifying that more unstable energy. And I would let that go. And then you'll let me know what other things you want to do. Because I know you wanted to divide the 2 stores eventually. Okay, let's go back to this dial. So go ahead.
Renovations, does that include, like, I have to install a new HVAC? So that would be in the section right next to Keelan's closet. So that long rectangular section that says 24 at the top and goes straight down. So one over the top of the page, north, east, I think it is. No, next one over. Keep going, that one.
This area.
Yeah. So that long rectangular strip is where I have to replace the HVAC.
Yeah, we would want to, yeah, I would prefer that we checked on a date. How close is that to happening?
It's as per the purchase agreement, funds were held back to fix the things that the seller had let go. And so I have until October 31st to do all these repairs. What's left, the biggest one, is this HVAC. And keep in mind, with very few suppliers here, vendors here, right? It's not like I can call on October 1st and have it done in time. You know what I mean? That's, you know,
yeah. All right. So, and where you said the whole thing, is it like the tubing above and all of that?
Yeah. If you look at this drawing, each sliver, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all have their own HVAC.
Oh.
Yeah, they all have their own HVAC.
Okay.
And the one I'm calling number 4, right next to Keelan's closet, is gone. It's non-working, not working at all.
Okay, well, if you could find, and this is the $1 million question, if you can find a contractor who will work with you on this, what I will do is I will find you a good date and time for the renovation.
Okay.
And what a little bit out of scope of what we talked about, but I will do that. What would be ideal is if we could get your HVAC person and you're going to mark it really clearly so there's no whatever. If he can put his ladder or something like that and start the renovation in this section, this little green pie shell right here, if you can start it there, I don't care if he bangs a nail or cuts a pipe or whatever, start it there on a good day and time that I'm going to look for you.
Okay.
That now constitutes a feng shui activation, and it activates for your fortune virtue. It brings in money.
Right. Okay.
But it's not like 8 o'clock in the morning. It may not be, that kind of thing. That's the thing about, trying to find a good date and time. And here's my go around to all of that is when and I've suggested this to clients too, can you yourself or send somebody up on a ladder during that good day and time and do some sort of banging or without, destroying anything, obviously. So we get that activated. And then let's say your contractor comes in later that day or the next day. If it happens in a sequential time frame, then it constitutes the renovation. But if you activate it, well, you could activate it anyway, activate it, and then you wait, a month because you couldn't get anybody come in, then we were starting from scratch again.
Okay.
But I think that's what we need to do is we need to activate this, get a little activation in there.
Okay.
An activation for you would be noise.
Okay.
And we may want to do a fire activation, but because you don't want to put water in the northeast. So we wouldn't want to do but what we may end up doing is and even down here, describe this. Is this all window?
Yes, it is all windows. So in that caddy corner, I have a shelving unit that has purses displayed on it. And then if you kept going down, that's where all the bathing suits are. And then if you went in the other direction, it's more handbags. So what I could do is, and then racks of clothes, right? So what I could do is move my items that I want to move now because it's summer, move the sale rack over there, just move racks around, right?
Mhm.
Move the sale rack over there, move some of the dresses over there. We got to overload on dresses, that kind of stuff.
Mm. I love dresses. Let's see if wait, no, I wanted to go Tom shoe, sorry. Um, 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 um. Not the best day. Mm. Grand Duke. What in Northeast 3? Mm. Ooh. It's a lot of dragon energy though. Goat and tiger and a lot of metal. On the 25th though, what is on your schedule as far as the store?
You mean in terms of being there?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can easily be there. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is pretty dang early in the morning. What time does your staff come in? Or could you get somebody to come in early that day?
Well, what time do they need to be there?
Between 7 and 9.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, between 7 and 9, this is where I want you to start moving the merchandise in your northeast one only. I'll go back to the chart to confirm why, but we have what's called Flying Star, and I have to look at those kinds of things. But during this hour, well, it's easier to look at it here. During this hour, numbers mean things to us and all that kind of stuff. But a 9 and a 1 makes a combination of 10. Whenever you see a combination of 10, 2, 8, 3, 7, but 9, we are in period 9. And 1 is a positive number because it's the future energy. After 9, it reverts back to 1. But we have a beautiful combination on that day for money. We're activating for money. So if we can get, and there's a lot of really good things happening on that day as well. Let's go back over here so you can see it easier with a little bit less stuff. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Now, this is my time blazer, not yours, but still, between 7 and 9, if you look on the 25th, what does yours say? You can share the screen again, just so you don't have to second guess yourself. 25th, money. Yeah, we like it. And how many stars there? No stars between 7 and 9. But when you go into the snake hour, here's the thing. The time blazer is good for like signing contract, but it doesn't have the feng shui implications in it. That's why I still have to use my partner's software, because it doesn't tell you. But going into the 9 o'clock hour, but let me make sure here, what does the 9 o'clock hour do for us in the other? Cutting grass right outside my window. So yeah, it just doesn't have the same at all. It just doesn't have the same feng shui implications. And there's yeah. So I would do the 7 to 9 on the 25th to move your racks around.
Okay.
That's start activating and getting your space more oriented to the feng shui, and start waking it up too to the feng shui when you do things strategically. So what I would do as far as your this particular day, go in, and again, just kind of get in that clear space. We're going to be, moving out this stuff, and we're going to make pretty good money at it. So I would clean out this area first and get it clear, and then start moving in your sales racks from there, or however you can do it, the best you can do it. But
Right.
if you go a little bit out on either side, no big deal, but you just want to really get this activated. Make some noise. You might even get your phone. What time does your store open?
It opens at 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Blast some music in there. You can put a fan, that's an activator. Just get some movement. Do you have, I don't know, any type of singing bowls or bells or anything. That's another thing you could do. You could bang pots and pans together, just something to wake that space up. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay.
And again, I love it because you have an ox in your chart. So that can help as far as that's concerned. All right, let's talk about some of these other areas. We're going to look at these individually as well, but we have to kind of decide when we're doing the feng shui activations, are we going to do it on the micro level, as in we're just looking at the clothing part of it, or are we looking only at the furniture as two separate businesses? So if we're going to do that, like, we have to decide which we're going to do, and we can't really away from that. But I'm glad that I did them separately, because if you are even toying with the idea of selling the other half of the business, what are the feng shui consequences of one side or the other?
Yeah.
Because it may be like, you know what, I want to take these two sides or one side, whatever, and then let her have the other, because this is a complete block that we're working with. Because believe me, there's going to be times that you're going to want to have this east intact. So that's something you need to think about. Okay. All right. So as far as these other areas are concerned, we're going to put a salt cure here where the dragon is at, and there, if you can put one like maybe in this corner right here, this would be, yeah.
You stop sharing the screen. Yeah.
It's not sharing.
No.
Oh my gosh. Let me try it again.
There we go. Okay.
All right, I'm going to annotate anyway, because I think it'd be easier. And this is where we will take some screenshots of it. Let's see what color will stand out here. Will yellow stand out? Kind of orange will stand. Oh no, I already got orange going on there.
Red?
Well,
Yeah.
we do have some red. Red might. Let's see what this looks like. Let me just.
Oh, that's good.
Or do you want this? What stands out there for you?
The red stands out more. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to want to put a salt cure here. I'm just going to go like this.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
And this equals salt cure.
Okay.
I've never been very good at this part of that. I've never done video games or anything like that. Okay, and then over here in what you called no man's land, anywhere here in this area, can you put something like back here, or?
Yeah, the blue area is just a storeroom bathroom. I can totally put something there.
Okay,
Okay.
it's a salt cure. And then your west, since you have a rooster in your chart, I think I'm going to want you to, here, let me do something first. Anywhere in this area, where would you think is the easiest place for you to put a salt cure? And I'll just indicate it so you don't have to do the guessing game after. Anywhere from here to here.
Well, either of those corners at the T where they meet the exterior, either one of those corners could work.
All right, I'll just do this and you, oops, it's not a circle anymore. Where's my eraser? Okay, let's go back to. Oh, I just was drawing it. I could have put a nice circle in there. Oh, well. All right, let's just say right around. Oh, well, here's her circle.
Okay.
Anywhere around there.
Okay.
Okay. Then the rest of it, really, as far as your cures are concerned, That's our most important. Now, did you buy the bamboo?
I did.
Okay, then I want you to put, and we'll go to green on this one. We're gonna go. Nope, I don't want circles. Oh, that's new with them too. Geez. It won't just go to. That's different. It won't do it. So I'm just gonna do this because it won't. This is your bamboo.
Okay, no worries.
Um, but it won't let me even, let's go back here. So anywhere in here, where would you like to place your bamboo?
Does it need to be near a window or anything?
It's pretty, I'm telling you, I've had my bamboo sitting behind me and it's getting very little light. Now, you know, it's not as beautiful as if it had sunlight, but it doesn't have very much sunlight at all.
I can put anything in that back wall, anything along that where it says 37. I can do anything along there.
Oh, look at that bamboo. Okay. All right. So you're going to put that in. And so this is where you're going to put metal, a lot of metal that you bought. And even if you have metal objects, but you're not going to want to like sell it though. Like it's there for a cure. You want to leave it. So that's why I like to do like the plates, the weights, and then I'll put my salt cure like right on top of it or something.
Okay, okay.
Your salt cure, you know, this one you can get away with because it's in your storeroom or whatever. These are going to be visible. So they're not the prettiest things are, you know, the salt cures, because you're going to, you know, put them in a bucket, you're going to put the salt, and then it's going to get kind of grody and all that kind of stuff. What I have seen people do, and I have done it myself when it's in an area that's more visible to people. But the thing is, you got to throw all this stuff away because it's an obstacle remover and you don't want to carry over obstacles from one year to the next. But I have put in like pieces of copper pipe, and then it oxidizes, and then it kind of looks like a piece, like a piece of art, if you will. But you want to put it in a place, you want to put it in a way that your staff or other people are not going to be moving it and stuff like that. If you think that's going to be the case, you may want to just put metal there, cover it up with some cloth, and use it as maybe even a display of some sort, a pedestal display type deal. So that could be, so it's up to you on how much you think people will be disturbing that. Now, I've got clients that have retail stores and they've done them for years and had no problem. But I don't know, like in your area, how that's gonna be. And you can also put a little sign, please do not disturb, or something like that. Now, the saltwater cures, and you live in a desert, it'll probably evaporate rapidly. So maybe once a month, just tap them off. You don't put a lot of water in it. You put, you know, about 4 fingers of your hand with the water. The rest of it's filled up with salt. So we always want to kind of maintain that, you know, it can go down a little bit. You never want to get them, you never want to let them be completely dry because it's deactivated if it's dry. And then you have to buy all that stuff again. So you don't want to do that. But then you also, you know, don't want to put so much water that it turns into a water activation, because that's not what we want to do. We do not want to activate the negative areas of the year. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so can I just confirm what you're saying?
Absolutely.
So, I think I bought the buckets and some other prettier things, but basically I take one of the weights, set it on the ground, and I'm talking about the two spots up top where it can be visible. So how many of the weight, does it matter which
How
weights?
much weight did you get?
I bought the whole set that you
So you
recommend.
can even use the bar. Did they send you a bar to put, or just the plates? I can't remember on that link.
It's just the plates.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
I
I
set up.
would divide them equally between the three is what I would
Okay.
do.
Okay, and then the vessel that holds the salt, how big? It doesn't need to be that big, right? What holds the salt?
The buckets that you bought, the utility buckets,
Okay, and then I fill that entirely with salt?
3/4, like 3/4 full, and then put, about the width of your hand as far as water. And you put the coins in there and then fill it up with water and then let it go. Do not cover it up, because if it's covered, it's not being exposed to the universe to absorb those obstacles.
Okay, I don't think all right, so I didn't buy enough salt then, for sure. So fill it 3/4 of the way. Add water so that it's 4 fingers above the salt level, right?
Yes.
Yep, and then coins. I don't remember that on the list. Which coins?
Maybe I need to send you, let me just make a note. I will send you, I thought I sent it, but I guess I didn't. The saltwater cure, like recipe, I'm gonna just call it, of like what's in it and how to compile it. So I'll send that over.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you, and I'll have to order salt then.
And then, yeah, and I got my salt. I think I put in each bucket, I think I put in at least 25 pounds in each one of those buckets it'll fill.
Okay, yeah, I definitely have to order more salt. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So you're gonna order more salt. I'm gonna find you a date to finish the HVAC, but you're going to, on the 25th, start activating that northeast so we can start bringing in a little bit of money there. Okay. All right, let me take a screenshot of that too, so we have that, and I'll pop it into the presentation after. Fact, not to hold you up. All right, so now let's look at the, oops, I gotta get rid of my annotations.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, before I do, were there any other questions before I get rid of those?
If I could only do one salt cure right now, because I don't have enough salt, is there a priority place of these 3 locations?
I'm gonna say the dragon, because you're gonna be disturbing this area as far as the HVAC.
Okay, so the one down in the blue.
Number 2, I would go for the west because you have a rooster in your chart.
Okay.
Number
And
3 is this one.
okay, and then bamboo just goes into that vase with some water. Okay.
Yeah. That one's for the positive. That one is yeah, that one's for the positive.
Okay.
And then, like I said, using these areas, I don't know if there's a door right there or not. Is there a door right there?
Yes.
Is there more than one door right here?
No. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so no, where that green is, there's a door kind of adjacent to the left. So you might be slightly touching it with the green. And then there's another door in that sliver of 24. Yeah.
If I were you, I would really focus on bringing in people here for this year.
Okay.
Next year, we're going to have a bit of challenge because the year breaker is going to be in the pig, because it's the year of the snake. And then so maybe this would be the door we open if you have a door here, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So if we can, and believe me, everybody, like I have people like, oh, but my kitchen's there. Does that mean I can't cook? No, of course you're going to cook. It just means that, there is challenging things there. So don't renovate your kitchen that year.
Right.
But activity will activate, and activity is a front door. You're going in and out constantly. You're getting deliveries, you're,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
So with that said, just as an afterthought, Betsy, if you ever have any of these red swaths where there is a door and you have an alternate door, even if there's nothing there, it may be better than using the red zone versus white or a green one.
Gotcha.
Future years. Okay. All right. Let me get rid of those. How are we doing on time? I don't want you.
It's 11:30.
All right, let's move on to, and now I, took this particular. All right, and so now, what we have here, and I want you to think about if I do sell, right? So this compass now like shrinks down into the space that we're looking at, if you will. And you can see that you're playing with a full deck. So yes, you have a little bit of missing here, but you got an extension there. But you always have the opportunity of all four of your pillars showing up on here. Any of the good is going to show up every year, but along with the negative as well. But when you have a full deck to play with, you can handle, these other challenges a little bit easier. So as far as cures, though, I wouldn't do this. I'm doing it really more for having you look at if you would take one side or the other. And I'm going to jump to this one. No, that's wrong one. This one. Can you see how much you're missing out of the dial?
Yeah.
So we know that the dragon is good for you, even though it's not this year. But for example, you want to see your best friend in your floor plan. You're a rooster, your best friend is a dragon. Your 3 harmony is a rooster, an ox, and a snake, and your snake is missing out of this floor plan. So you have 2 really important pieces that are missing from this particular piece if you decide to take only this side. So it would be, maybe it would be like, maybe you can have this much too, or something like that. I don't know. It would be like, I'm just going to take, this bay right here, this part of it right here. And then you have absolutely a complete square, and give the rest over to her. So I know that's a bit of changing around, but if you do decide to do that, or you're renegotiating your lease, that you're going to, that you're going to split it up, then I would take this piece right here.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? What would be the advantages or disadvantages of that if you made that decision?
Well, for the furniture, setting that aside, like where would that all go, right? Is it sold? Is it gone? Is it whatever? But for the clothing, it's really just moving it on, just moving it on through. And then getting people used to coming in a different door, but it's all connected anyway. It's not like it's rocket science. It should be fairly easy. Well, even then it's probably fine.
Yeah, I'm talking about taking that piece.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because you're working with more of a square. Because here's the problem as well with when you're looking at, and please keep all of this in mind when you're looking at your new locations as well, right? Try not to get missing that. This is called 4-point gold. 4-point gold means you're playing with a full deck. So there's that. But also, you need to look at what's going on outside as well, but missing corners are never going to be your friend, because there's always going to be something missing, as far as opportunities. Like, who wants to leave a year of opportunity with, making money, right? Because your floor plan will not support it. So, like, for example, the dragon, it will be Fortune Virtual will be 1, 2, in 3 years, the Fortune Virtual will be in the dragon. What if you did, like, on this floor plan, it's going to be harder for you to make money, right? Because your space isn't supporting it. So people are like, I do all this stuff and I don't understand. When I look at their floor plan, it was like it's missing. It's missing. Your best friend who's there to help you is missing. So, but this is a future conversation because right now you have quite a bit to work with. And what we're tapping into right now for the good of your business, your entire business model is we're going to get this activated starting Tuesday, excuse me, Thursday. And that's going to be, to your advantage to get that going.
Okay. Do I have the same on the furniture side? I know where I'm putting the bamboo, but
Well, that's what I was saying. If we're going to do the macro level to do your cures, you're not going to want to do them on it will confuse the energy.
okay.
Because now like before, I think it showed up where because this dial moves more close to here, so your northeast is more over there. It will be some of it, but it will confuse the energy, if you will.
Okay.
So since you own all of the space right now, I would do that.
Okay. The salt cures and the bamboo you outlined, and then moving the racks. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So this was, I'm glad I did this for you so you can see the difference.
Yeah.
Now, you certainly could micromanage, some things, but I would stay with that full plan of what you're doing over from this floor plan that I had the mark. And like I said, I will add them to you to this presentation. So okay, I think that's where we're going to go for today. Then our next appointment, because I've already talked about, you have an ox in your chart. So we'll like put these two pieces together, but I think it's more important for you to get those activations started, get those pieces in place. Please let me know how your meeting goes today.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about the franchise thing or the franchise model. So how did that even come about? Do you know this lady?
I do not know this woman. Susan, the store manager of this clothing site, does as a consigner. And she said to Susan several months ago, would the owner be interested in franchising? And Susan said, just hold on. I can't get into specifics, but there's going to be big changes. And I think you should have that conversation then, right? And so she reached out via email. And I said, she said she was coming in to consign and would we meet? And I said, absolutely. And so we sat down and chatted, and she's very intelligent, very stylish, very smart. She's an engineer. She wants to retire. She wants to do this. She wants to create an app that will put together outfits for people for the week based on what they have. So take pictures. So there's some upfront work to it, but basically when someone does it, the app creates wardrobe for them. And so I thought that was pretty smart and intelligent and, great thing to do. And our next steps would be to go away, think about what we want, do a little homework. She's going to be spending a week down here in Sedona. We're going to get together in person again and start kind of going through all those specifics and ideas.
And when is that happening?
I haven't booked it yet, so there we go. Let me double check in town.
Yeah, let's pull up your calendar again.
Yeah, 1 second. I need to find her.
And if you can get her birth information, that would be fabulous.
Okay, I don't have her. I'll have to get it from her when she's going to be in town, and then I can look at my calendar and see what makes the best sense.
I mean, is it soon or?
Yeah, it's like in 2 weeks. It's like in, yeah, do you want me to pull up my,
Yes, please.
yeah, I think it's like the last week in July, if I remember correctly, into August. So let's go to,
Month?
so I
Okay.
believe it was this last,
Okay, and then go into August. At the top, we just hit August, or yeah, you can hit there too. First week in August and the last week in July is not
right?
great. That second week is a little bit better, but I would stay away from the 5th. As far as talking to her. The 6th, 7th, and 10th are good, but the 3rd is good if you meet her on a Saturday. Is that potential?
That could, I think that that might be potential.
All right, click into the 3rd. Let's see what kind of times we have. Ooh, 11 to 3. Nice little lunch meeting right there.
Okay. I'll just send her a text that says, hey, why don't we book August 3rd between 11 and 3? How's that? And see what happens.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
All right, I'll do that. And you're gonna send me how to set up the salt cure, so I make sure I do
How to
it.
set up the salt cures. I'll send you over these floor plans, so we'll get started on that. And then, would you like to set up another appointment now so we can, it's gonna have to be in August for me. Actually, it's gonna have to be a little far out in August, because I'm gonna go to New York.
New York.
Oh my goodness. I could either meet you, I think on the 15th. I could meet you on the 15th.
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay. What time works for you?
I am wide open that day. I will say summer, in the summer mornings are a little challenging because we have to get the dogs all walked and everything before the heat. So it could be like 9 or later, my time, that would be helpful if possible.
Okay, and we're 3 hours difference?
Yes.
So let's do noon
On August 15th.
on August the 15th, and this is for your personalized.
That's noon your time, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And we may not need it, Becky, but can I take 2 hours? Okay. All right. Okay. And then this is how bad I am because I could just do this whatever. I can't remember when you sent me a payment. Was it in June or was it July?
I think it was June.
Okay, so if you can take care of the August payment, you can just PayPal me again or Venmo, whichever works for you. I'd appreciate that. And okay, well, break a leg at your meeting today. Let me know just if you can, just like a real quick recap what you discovered, and we'll go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome, and you'll be receiving stuff around within the hour with me for some stuff I promised to you. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Bye.
Care. Bye.